And then at the bottom, of course, you know, not enough space there, but at the bottom, you want to put references are available upon request. You can put that, or references available upon request. Some people put the word, another category for references, and just put available upon request. Okay? One of the things you don't want to do is to, unless you know you're applying for an organization that says, I need your references with the resume. You don't want to get in the habit of putting your references on the resume. I see that a lot. And here's why. It can go south real quickly. Because, say for, and I'm talking professional resume. I'm not talking about people you work for, because they're going to call those people anyway. I'm talking about the you know, a couple of faculty member, or the minister, or the you know, football coach at high school, or retired teacher. You don't want people calling them if they're not interested in you. So here's the protocol. If they don't ask for the resume to accompany, the references to accompany your resume or accompany the application, you put their excellent references are available upon request if they are in fact excellent. Excellent. But when they call you for an interview, you take a fresh copy of your resume and a list of references. That's what you do. It protects your references. People get tired of getting phone calls, and then they talk to you. I see you got an interview with thus and such. I didn't get an interview. Well, they called me, and called me, and called me. You know. Well, why? It's because you put their names on your resume. So don't do that. Don't do that. They shouldn't. Don't allow them to contact people unless they're interested in you. They really shouldn't. You want to preserve your references. The people that are going to speak highly of you, because they might catch them on a bad thing. Okay? The next part of this, and I'll go through this quickly, about 15 minutes. The cover letter, you've got to write a captivating cover letter that distinguishes you from candidates. And how do you do that? The job choice book that I gave you has a lot of, this is a great read, by the way. It also has some resumes in it, and it has different examples of cover letters in here. You might want to take a look at it, but let me just tell you my take on this. You basically only need 3 paragraphs in a cover letter. 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph, you want to tell the business who you are, what position you're interested in, and why you're interested in that position. Okay? Attached is my resume and application for the position of whatever. Okay? And why? Why are you applying for this position? So you've got to know why you're applying for this position. Is it because the philosophy of the company match yours? Is it your educational background, my educational background and my experience and passion for whatever, for working with at-risk youth, meet the criteria, or is a match for the candidate you're seeking? That's pretty much all you need in the first paragraph. They want to know, okay, what do you want? What position are you applying for? And why are you applying for it? And you want to tell them why. It has to be connected to your passion. The second paragraph, you want to summarize some things that are not in your resume. You want to summarize your accomplishments, what skills you've developed, maybe projects that you've assisted with, what have you learned? What skills have you learned? Have you developed communication skills? As you will see from my resume, I've been in the field of customer service or working with the public for a number of years. In my present position, I implement, or I have implemented or assisted in implementing projects to reach the public, provide extensive customer service or personalized customer service. Just go into some things that you have assisted with, some skills that you've learned to build a case for yourself. And then summarize your role. So that's all you need in the second paragraph. So first paragraph, I'm attaching my resume for this position and this is why. Second paragraph, I've been involved in some things and this is what I've learned. You don't repeat a whole lot of things you put in your resume, but this is what I've learned. The third paragraph is that you want to ask for an interview, okay? You want to request an interview from them, because after all, that's why you're writing the letter. You want an interview. You want your resume to get you an interview. So I would like to request an interview, and you can repeat. I may be reached at this number and this phone number and this email, okay? Checking your phone number and checking your email twice. This is to request a formal interview to further discuss my passion for this or my interest in this position. And then I look forward to hearing from you and to discussing how I can be of benefit in this area. Something of that nature. That's it. And just, all you need is 2 paragraphs, really. 2 sentences to make a paragraph. 2 or 3 sentences, that's fine. Just don't wear them out. There's a lot of great stuff that you can put in here. Put relevant things. If you want to make it longer, put relevant things. But those are the 3 key things that they need to know from you. And that's your cover letter. That's your cover letter. The last part of the profile is creating your reference list. Okay? Creating your reference list. I always say 1 or 2 is not enough. 1 or 2 references is not enough. 3 or 4 is just right. It's just right. So you want to always have at least 1 or 2 faculty members on your reference list. Someone from the community. But it says that you have built a relationship with at least 1 or 2 faculty on campus. That has to be, you have got to have that on your reference list. And this is the format. Okay? You want to put your the person's professional name and title. You want to put the professional address, if they're not retired or anything. Professional phone number on there. Email is not necessary. But that's pretty much the format. Professional name, title, professional address, and professional phone number. Double space and start all over again. So 1 or 2, not enough. 3 or 4, just right. The only alternative is to follow the instructions of the company, the application process of the company. They may require more, they may require less. Okay? And one hint for all 3 of these documents. The same header that you use on your resume, make sure that's the same header, with your name, address, make sure that's the same header that you use on your reference page and your cover letter. And when you print that on resume paper, it looks very professional. You have then created your own letterhead. And I even put, at times, most of the times, I will drop it into a header. That way, all of your documents will flow together. Does that make sense? It flows together. So you don't have different fonts, you don't have different size documents. The same header on all 3 of those documents. And it tells the employer that you put time in this. That you have actually put some time and effort in this. Any questions about those 2 documents? For the Apple position, you will not need, I'd like to see these, but you can hand the cover letter and the references in to me. But when you post your resume, you don't need, for the Apple program, you don't need a cover letter and the references, okay? This is all just a part of the training. So that concludes the presentation for Part 1, the business etiquette part. Part 2, we will go into interviewing, and we will talk about how to get your credit and what's expected of you in the program, okay? Any questions? Thank you very much. See you in Part 2.